everyone. My name is Farooq, and today I am going to show you the overview of my project, Todo App, using React. So let's go through the code first. So these are all the directories of my project. Under the SRC, I have made a components folder. Under the components folder, I have included edit to do form.js, to do.js, to do for to do wrapper.js. So different components. So this starting with this to do.js component, it represents an individual to do item. You can see here it represents an individual to do item, and to do form.js, this component renders the form for adding new tools, and edit to do form.js, it renders the form for editing existing to dos. And to do this to wrapper.js, this is the main container that manages the to do list. So I'll go through this code. So this so in to do wrapper.js, I have made a function to fetch to-dos, fetch to-dos. This function, it is responsible for fetching the to-dos from this API. JSON placeholder that type code is already mentioned, and it this uses a fetch function to send a get request to the API and retrieves the response. The response data is then transformed to include the title field from the API response and mapped into a new array of to-dos with the required fields. Vanilla fetch to-dos are stored in the components state using the this set to-dos function. And to add to-do, I have included a function add to-do function. So this function is responsible for adding a new to-do, and it uses a fetch function to send a post request. You can see every method is post, and to the post request to the API with new to do data in the request body. The API responds with the newly created to do, which is then appended to the existing to dos in the components state using the this set to dos function, as you can see here. Then we have the delete to do function. This function is responsible for deleting a to do. It uses the fetch function to send a delete request in this method to the API with the ID of the to do to be deleted. Next, we have a toggle complete function. This function is responsible for toggling the completion status of a to do. It updates the completion status of the to do in the component state using the set to do's function. Additionally, it also sends a put request to the API to update the completion status of the corresponding to do. And at last, to edit a to do, this edit to do function is responsible for actually toggling the editing status of a to do. It updates the is editing. As you can see, this function is editing field of the to do in the component state using the set to do's function. Updating to update a task, I have made a function edit task function. This is responsible for updating the task of a to do. So it updates the task of the to do in the component state using the set to do's function, as I said before. This additionally sends a put request to the API uh, to update the task of the corresponding to-do. Overall, the to-do wrapper function is a main container that renders the to-do app structure. It includes the to-do form component for adding new to-dos, and dynamically it renders either the to-do component or the edit to-do form component based on the editing status of each to-do in the to-do's state array. So this was the overview of my code. Now let's go through the website that I have created. So this is the website that I have created, the to-do app using React. I have deployed using Netlify. So these are all the tasks that is updated from the API that was already mentioned. And to add a new task, as I am going to show you, it says I am a preparing user to complete the video. Make a task to complete the video. When I add the task, okay, my task is updated here. So I can also update any of the tasks. Suppose I'm going to update this. As you can see, it has a unique interface. So let's update this task. Okay, as you can see, it is updated now. Also, I can delete this task, as you can see here. And also I have made this user interface look good using a linear gradient function. I have also included the CSS here to make for a linear gradient function. And at last, one more thing I have to say is that when I add a new task, suppose I'll add this task, it will be updated just below the task. And for that, I have used in the to do wrapper.js in the functions to function to add a new to do. I have done is I have set this to dos which previous to dos function, and it will be updated just below the new task. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you.